What if you could have unshakable control in pretty much any high-stakes conversation? Well, today, we're breaking down the playbook from trial lawyer Jefferson Fisher, and it's designed to give you exactly that.
Fisher's whole argument kicks off with this idea. Every single conversation you avoid, every time you don't speak up for yourself, it costs you something. It's like a running tab. And those little costs, they add up, and they hit you in your career, your relationships, and even how you see yourself.
So in this explainer, we're going to walk through 5 critical parts of his playbook. First, we'll get into the real cost of silence. Then, we'll talk about this powerful idea of becoming the anchor in any room. After that, we'll learn how to spot and deal with gaslighting, how to disarm a narcissist, and finally, how to tap into what might be the ultimate superpower, just being unbothered.
Okay, first up, the cost of silence. And look, this is way bigger than just feeling a little awkward. Fisher's point is that your ability to communicate literally shapes your life. It is not an optional, nice-to-have skill.
You ever wonder why relationships actually fall apart? It's almost never one big dramatic blow-up. No, Fisher says they usually die by 100 tiny cuts. 100 little moments where something should have been said, but we told ourselves, it's too small to mention.
And that price tag, it's very, very real. We're talking about promotions you didn't get because you didn't speak up. A sense of self-worth that just gets chipped away over time. And of course, that heavy emotional backpack full of things you wish you'd said. Like Fisher says, the bill always comes due.
Okay, so if staying silent is so expensive, how do we start talking? Well, that brings us right to our second point, becoming the anchor. And here's the secret. It all starts with mastering yourself, not trying to control the other person.
You know, Fisher learned this in the courtroom, which is maybe the most high-stakes conversation you can have. In any interaction, especially a tense one, people are subconsciously looking for the most stable, most composed person there. They're looking for an anchor to hold on to.
So here's the key takeaway. Your calm is your power. It's that simple. When you intentionally slow down your speech, you lower your volume, and you just stay cool, you project this incredible confidence. It actually forces other people to lean in and listen. They have to match your energy, not the other way around.
So how do you do it? Here's the technique. 1. Walk into any room like you've been there 1,000 times. 2. Lower your voice. It makes people lean in to hear you. 3. If someone challenges you, or in his case a judge rules against him, you act like it's no big deal. And 4. You have what he calls an in-the-pocket presence. You're perfectly calm, perfectly timed, and never ever rushed.
Okay, so you've got yourself under control. Now let's talk about a very common tactic people use to throw you off balance: gaslighting. We're going to cover how to see it coming and how to shut it down.
Let's be super clear on what this is. Gaslighting is not just someone telling a lie. It is a deliberate, calculated attempt to make you question your own mind, what you saw, what you heard, even your own sanity. It's a direct assault on your reality.
And it is so important to see the difference here. A lie is just denial. I didn't do that. Gaslighting goes so much deeper. It's not about the facts. It's about making you feel like your internal compass is broken and that you can't trust yourself anymore. It's all about control.
So how in the world do you defend against it? Fisher's strategy is simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Number 1, slow the whole conversation down. Number 2, state your truth, calmly, with a phrase like, "I remember that differently." And number 3, this is the most important one, do not chase their words. Don't get pulled into arguing the details of their twisted reality. You just plant your flag on your own truth.
All right, let's level up to another difficult personality type, the narcissist. Now, the goal here is not to win an argument. The goal is to recognize the game they're playing and just refuse to play.
So, what is this game they're playing anyway? Well, if you want to disarm a narcissist, you first have to understand what they're really after. It all boils down to the reaction they're trying to pull out of you.
Fisher calls it the praise or provoke game. See, they need attention to feel like they're in control. And if they can't get that attention through praise and admiration, they will pivot and try to provoke you into a fight. Why? Because your anger and frustration gives them the exact same feeling of control. For them, both praise and provocation are a win.
So what should you look for? Well, they can't seem to be genuinely happy for other people's success. They have a PhD in turning every conversation back to themselves. They often have a huge victim mentality, a real lack of empathy, and they are obsessed with how they look to other people.
The only way to win this game is to not play.
And the key move, the secret weapon, is to give them absolutely nothing to work with. Your best tool for this, the neutral statement.
Simple phrases like noted, or thanks for sharing, or just a flat got it, are unbelievably effective. They're like conversational dead ends. They don't give the narcissist any emotional hook to grab onto, which forces them to go look for someone else to play their game with.
And all of this leads us to the final and honestly the most powerful concept in this whole playbook, the power of unbothered. This is the mindset that ties everything else together, and it's your ticket to real inner peace and control.
Okay, here is the huge mental shift you have to make. You have to let go of the needs to be right. Being right is so overrated. The real prize isn't winning some pointless argument, it's protecting your own peace of mind and your own self-worth. If somebody wants to argue that the sky is purple, you can just let them. It doesn't have to cost you anything.
Now, why is this so powerful? Because when someone provokes you, it's your reaction, not their words, that actually determines the outcome. How you choose to respond has way more influence over the situation and how everyone else sees it than the initial comment ever could. Your reaction is all your leverage.
Fisher tells this fantastic story about his dad. When someone would tailgate him, instead of getting angry and speeding up, his dad would just calmly pull over, let them pass, and say, "Go on with your bad self." It's the perfect metaphor, right? Choosing not to let someone else's chaos and anger dictate your own emotional state. You just stay in your lane at your speed.
Ultimately, this whole playbook boils down to this one single choice. Your reaction is where all your power is. So the only real question left is, how are you going to choose to use it?